This is 3 News Daily.
Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Daily on this Friday, April 14th. I'm Stephanie Haney here with your top stories from our area. And we start today with developing news in Broadview Heights. Students at Brecksville-Broadview Heights High School were sent home early because school officials became aware of a potential threat. The school superintendent tells us a student reported overhearing another student making a threat. The school went into a soft lockdown, and that means that the students were released to their parents by class. School officials weren't able to find out who made the threat or whether the threat was credible, but sent the students home anyway out of an abundance of caution. As we learn more, we'll share that with you. Now, several members of the Ashland Amish community are in court today. According to court documents, they refused to comply with a new state law that requires flashing yellow lights on all of their buggies. The law is meant to reduce the number of buggy crashes across the state. Coming up tonight, we'll have more details on this story, including what the Amish people are reportedly saying about the fine. Now, we're continuing our coverage in Akron as the city is on alert, waiting for a grand jury decision in the case of Jayland Walker's death. As a precaution, Akron City Hall and the Akron Justice Center on High Street will be closed to the public starting at 5 p.m. today. That's when a protest is planned to call for indicting the 8 police officers involved in the deadly shooting of Walker last year. Security has already been stepped up in the downtown area. Now, in Beechwood, a fire broke out in a synagogue while dozens of people were inside, including more than 20 children. There was dark black smoke billowing out of the Fairmount Temple, and now the temple and its preschool will be closed for at least a few days. Our Emma Henderson shows how the response to the fire saved the irreplaceable.
A quick response resulted in minimal damage for a Beechwood synagogue.
We had fire and smoke showing. We called for mutual aid departments to respond. The crews did an amazing job with they put the majority of the fire out with the first hose line off the truck.
Fire crews say the adults in the building did everything right to make sure students inside got out safely.
Everyone here at our Fairmount Temple facility is safe and sound due to the quick work of our staff.
There were approximately 20 students in the building and staff, and they got everybody out of the building safely. They moved the students away to a collection point so that the parents could have a safe place to go.
Rabbi Nosenchuk says he expects things to be closed for a couple days, but they were able to get the irreplaceable, both people and scripture, out unharmed.
This sacred place, this synagogue, is here and standing and will stay. We are just assessing everything that we know. We have removed all of our sacred Torah scrolls from the building.
And Beechwood Fire Chief Stephen Holtzman says while everyone's space is sacred, there's extra meaning in making sure to respond quickly when a place of worship catches fire.
This affects the whole community. So by being able to stop the fire from spreading and saving the structure, I think it means a lot to a lot of people.
Now, this morning, the Beechwood Fire Department said the cause of the fire is still under investigation, but right now they don't suspect that it was a crime. Now we have an update for you on the man who killed a Cleveland police detective in 2020. 21-year-old David McDaniel has been sentenced to spend the rest of his life in prison in the hearing yesterday. McDaniel was 18 when he and 2 minors shot and killed Cleveland police detective James Skurnovitz and 50-year-old Scott Dingus, who was an informant. The judge allowed McDaniel to speak in court.
Every night, I go to sleep in the county jail, thinking about the family that I ruined that night.
Family's absolutely devastated. Your family devastated. Your life devastated. Over a couple dollars.
McDaniel will be eligible for parole in 50 years at the age of 71. Now in Avon this morning, part of State Route 611 was blocked after several vehicles crashed at the intersection of Colorado Avenue and Chester Road. Our crew was on the scene and said a semi-truck was involved. Avon police are still investigating the cause of the crash, and we can tell you now that 1 person was taken to the hospital. Now, our 3 News Investigates team has learned that Ohio Lottery Director Pat McDonald was escorted from his office Wednesday by members of Governor Mike DeWine's staff after he unexpectedly resigned. DeWine's office originally said McDonald was retiring for health reasons. However, yesterday, a spokesperson said an independent investigation has been launched into potential, quote, human relations irregularities involving the former director. Now in Cuyahoga County Executive Chris Ronayne has announced the next step in the county's jail transformation plan. The county is still looking for a location to build a new permanent facility and at the same time looking to make repairs to the old facility. The current jail needs a lot of physical updates to make sure that the safety of inmates and workers is in a good position. Now, Cleveland's West Side Market is looking at new ideas to spruce up the area and get more of the community involved. At the latest vendor meeting, merchants looked at proposed changes. They're looking at things like expanded prepared food offering sections, public seating, special event space, and a teaching kitchen. In the next few weeks, Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb's administration is expected to introduce legislation. His plan is to use $15 million of our American Rescue Plan fund for the city of Cleveland to use that for West Side Market improvements. All right, switching gears now, let's talk about sports because it's a big weekend for the Cavaliers. Tomorrow, the Cavs take on the New York Knicks in Game 1 of the first round of the NBA playoffs right here in Cleveland. It's their first playoff appearance since 2018 when LeBron was still on the team. The Cavs are hosting tailgates for fans during home games over at Tower City. Tomorrow's tailgate starts at 3 and the game starts at 6 p.m. When the Cavs are on the road, they'll have watch parties at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. You can get into the watch parties with a $5 donation. You can get those tickets now. We have a link in our fan guide on WKYC.com. And that brings us to our question of the day. With Game 1 of the playoffs tomorrow, we want to know, how do you plan on watching? Where are you going to do that? Post your comment to the WKYC Facebook page. We'll talk about it during What's New at 4 o'clock. All right, here is our update from our Forget Me Not telethon with the Animal Protective League yesterday. As of early this morning, the amount raised was $128,808. That is $6,000 more than we collected at the end of the day yesterday and $30,000 more than you all donated last year. We're expecting to get a final tally later today. That means that we've collected even more. We want to say thank you to everyone who helped support our friends with the Cleveland APL. Seriously, that's a lot of money. You all should be very proud of yourselves. Okay, before we go, we're looking ahead to the weekend, not just because of the Cavs game, but also because of the cherry blossoms here in Cleveland in peak bloom. Look at these beautiful flowers. You can see them at the Cleveland Museum of Art and around University Circle. The blossoms only last 4 to 10 days, so take advantage of the beautiful weather today and check them out before they are gone for another season. Thanks for being with us for today's edition of 3 News Daily. Enjoy the weekend. We'll be back here on Monday with more of your top stories from around Northeast Ohio.